So this is Shruti Patel, who's been in HR for over 15 years. So Shruti, tell us, where did you study and what courses did you take?
Okay, so I did not intend to join HR, so I was more of a drifter. I actually started, I did my master's in English literature. I was a honors as well as a master's in it. My intent was to get into media, print journalism or media communications. I did a bit of print for some time, but after a while I realized that it wasn't great if I didn't have, at that point in time, I didn't have any kind of a godfather or somebody to support. And it was a new city. It was just booming at that time. It was beginning. It needed a lot of support. So I kind of switched that. I left what I did and I joined a multinational company. And there, very soon, I realized that my flair was towards training people and more on using my communication skills. So that's how I slowly and gradually moved into HR.
Okay. Mm, which organizations have you worked for before?
Okay, so I've primarily worked with GE, which was GE Capital at one point in time.
Mm-hmm.
Worked briefly for an organization called Vertex. Then I was working with Bank of America, and now I'm working for Fidelity Investments. I took a career break to take care of my son for about 4 years, and after that, I've resumed in Fidelity Investments. It's a US based company.
Okay, cool. So how do you use technology and how do you think technology will impact your line of business, human resources?
Sure. So, if you look at technology, technology is primarily at the nucleus of everything now. When we started, it was a different thing. It was something that you need to know about. But I think whether you look at any profession today's day and age, it is right at the heart of it. It's at the nucleus of it. So, if I was to specifically look at learning and leadership development on HR, it's not just the HR management systems, but it's also about how do you provide bite sized learning. Now, for example, right now we have the COVID situation.
Yeah.
We don't have people who can walk into classrooms. So, when we don't have people walking into classrooms, we need technology to reach out to them. We need to use virtual modes of learning. We need to use and explore even gamification for that matter. So, technology really is at the nucleus of anything and everything we do. And I think it's going to stay. And hence, the kind of skills that you would need, it's a must. So, it's not something that you could it's good to have. It is something that everybody needs to get acquainted with because it's a way of working now for us and for anybody for that matter. I do a lot of work in Future of Work, which is guided by the Institute of Future, which talks about skills that are derived also basis when you look at technology. So things like computational thinking or cognitive skills are getting impacted by technology. So I think it's at the nucleus of everything we do.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. How do you measure success?
So for us, measurement of success can be different. I specialize into a field in learning and leadership development, which is called organizational development. Very simply put, it uses neuroscience and behavior science and tries to apply that into behaviors of teams and groups. So when we're doing that for groups and teams, the only measure of success is for us that have we moved away from homeostasis, or which is status quo? Have we been able to change the status? Has a group been able to do better? Are they much more aligned? Are they promotively moving forward and becoming more effective? Those can be some of our measures of success.
Okay, so what skills should someone have to succeed in something like HR?
Okay, so in HR, obviously, and I think not only in HR, in every field today, and that's what we teach and talk about all the time. Social intelligence, which is a branch of what we call emotional intelligence, is a must. So you cannot function without that. And whether you talk about AI or whether you talk about bots taking over, it is still important that you do not miss out on your human touch. So your social intelligence, your social skills, your interpersonal skills are very crucial. The second is the ability to make sense. So a lot of it is like, you have a map in front of you, which is incomplete. Now, how do I complete that map? Is by making sense of the situation or where it's going. So, a lot of sense making
Mm-hmm.
is a part of day of a very high order skill, but something very basic, called systems thinking, which is, can I look at the entire system as a whole? And can I not just look at HR? Can I look at other businesses? Can I look at who do I support? Can I look at environment? Can I look at the industry? And all of them get together and impacting somebody or some process or some work. So hence, since systems thinking, cognitive thinking, cognitive, uh, cognitive thinking and social intelligence would be extremely important.
Okay. Thank you, Shruti. Thank you for your time.
Okay, you have a good day, and